Hey guys, I'm Eric with American Trucks. In this video, we're going to do a review and install of this Diablo Sport Trinity II Platinum Tuner fitting all 2003 to 2014 Ram 1500s with a 5.7 liter Hemi engine. Now, you should really be checking this out if you're on the market for a premium tuner device that will not only allow you to do some advanced tuning with your vehicle, but will also give you a more complete picture of what's going on with your vehicle through all the information it can provide and all the customizable tuning features you have available. So before we get too much into all the features available with this Trinity II tuner, let's take a look at what we got on the dyno. All right guys, so the tail of the tape, so to speak. Let's take a look at the numbers, what the numbers are telling us, what the dyno's telling us. With our Dodge Ram here, we got a baseline run, and our baseline run showed us about 209 horsepower and about 273 pound-feet of torque. Now we took the truck off the dyno, we uploaded our Diablo Sport 91 octane tune, and we came up with a whole lot more power in both categories. We ended up with 254 horsepower and 303 pound-feet of torque. What that equates to is peak gains of about 45 horsepower and 30 pound-feet of torque. Now where it really set itself apart was in the curve gains. We saw torque gains as much as 54 pound-feet of torque increase compared to the factory tune. And in the curve, we also saw a 42 horsepower gain comparing the Diablo Sport 91 octane tune to the factory settings. So really you are getting quite a boost out of this tuner. So let's take a look at some of the other features that are involved with this tuner. Like I said, it's a very capable device. So let's take a look at what else it offers. Now, this is really one of the more sophisticated tuners from Diablo Sport. This Trinity II Platinum tuner will allow you to adjust very intricate settings in each tune yourself, things such as spark timing, fuel air mixture, whether you want your vehicle to run more rich or more lean, or if you want to adjust or eliminate the rev limiter or speed limiter. You can adjust all those things individually yourself, regardless of whatever tune you have uploaded to your vehicle. Now, straight out of the box, we found this unit to have several tunes straight from Diablo Sport. In fact, we used one of them on our dyno run, the 91 octane tune, and we got great numbers out of that. So if that's what you want to do, that's awesome. There are a lot of other features that come with this unit that kind of make it more than just a tuner. You can make a lot of other adjustments that will affect your day-to-day driving, like if your vehicle has active fuel management, you can disable that. I personally find that quite annoying when the vehicle wants to either shut off at a red light or shut from 8 cylinders down to 4 cylinders while you're driving. I find that personally quite annoying. You can disable that feature if your vehicle is a model year that has that. You can also recalibrate your speedometer if you are re-gearing your vehicle or if you're adding larger wheels and tires, which is something very common for Ram owners to do. And you can also use it like a throttle booster or a throttle enhancement device so you can get better throttle response out of your truck. Now you look at that, that's multiple devices all kind of rolled into one. And not only that, if you get a check engine light, you can read the trouble code with your Trinity II tuner as well, so you can find out what's wrong with your engine. Now, it's not all business with this tuner though either. You can have quite a bit of fun with this unit because you can do things like get timed runs from 0 to 60, 0 to 100 miles per hour. You can also time yourself in 1/8 mile or quarter mile runs, and that way you can kind of see not only what gains you're getting on paper, but what does that mean in real life, okay? I'm getting better throttle response and I can feel the power, but what's it really doing for me in terms of speed? Those are great things to know, and you can do that with this device as well. Not only that, you can also customize this device completely to your taste, right down to the color of the display, the types of gauges that the display holds, and you can set up multiple pages so that when you have it mounted in your truck and you're rolling down the road, if you want to check something out, you can very easily swipe with your finger from one page to the next, and you can have multiple gauges all set up, custom arranged by you, and that'll show you the information you want in the way that you want. Now, as far as price goes, guys, this does come in a little bit more in the premium category compared to the simpler tuner devices out there. Right now, looking at about $750 for this unit. But like I said before, you're not just getting a tuner. You're getting a device capable of reading diagnostic trouble codes, a throttle enhancement device. You have all the toys there for making timed speed runs and quarter mile and 1/8 mile runs. So really you're getting a lot of separate devices kind of all wrapped into one package. So really, I think that kind of justifies the more premium price. And I also have to say that working with this unit, one of the first things you're going to need to do when you unbox it is you're going to have to download updates. It happens with all of these types of tuning devices, and this was one of the faster devices that I work with. A lot of them tend to be a little bit more slow, so you're also seeing that premium quality in the price as well. As far as the installation goes, it's a very basic 1 out of 3 wrenches, guys. You basically plug it into your OBD2 port, And you're gonna wanna do this at home because you're gonna need an internet connection to download those updates, but that's probably gonna be the longest part of this installation. Once you actually have the updates downloaded to your device, getting the tune installed in your truck should take you roughly about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a look at this installation. All right guys, I have our Trinity 2 Platinum tuner here from Diablo Sport. First thing we're gonna do to get it going here is grab this cable. You can plug this end into the back, and the other end obviously is gonna plug into our OBD2 port underneath our dash. So once we get that going, you're gonna see this will power up and the screen will come alive as soon as we get it plugged in, and we'll show you some of the features and get going with the tune from there. All right guys, now to physically get this mounted in, you can find a spot where you prefer to have it to your windshield so it's not directly in your line of sight, but so you can see it as you're driving if you want to have your gauges set up so you can read certain information as you're going down the road. So we're gonna get it mounted in like this. It has this locking nut right here that will help fix the position once you get it set, but leave that loose for now. And then this would be for locking the suction cup. So when you find your spot there, go ahead and mount it up, and then you flip that latch down and it'll lock it into place. And we'll tighten the nut. There you have it. All right guys, now you can see we're here on the home screen, and here we have our basic menu options. As you can see, I'm not going to roll through them all individually right now, but what we're most interested in is going to our tuning section. So let's go ahead and give that a shot here. It's going to take a second to gather your basic information for your vehicle, and just follow the instructions as they come up on the screen. Follow the prompts as they go. And it will take a little bit of time here, guys. Like I said, initially what it does is it's checking the tuning file that's basically your factory tuning file and making a copy of that, so down the road after you have a custom tune or one of Diablo Sport's tunes uploaded to your truck, it still preserves the factory settings so you can restore that through the tuner. If you want to just go back to a stock configuration, let's say maybe you're taking your truck to a tuner or to a dyno and you want to test it yourself, you can run it against stock numbers versus maybe some custom tunes that you buy down the road, or you're trying to find that perfect tune that gives you the best mix of what you're looking for out of performance and drivability. And obviously you have the flexibility to do that with this tuner, which is really nice. All right guys, now we just walked you through a couple of steps and you saw what your screens are going to look like when you're going through the basic boot up process for the first time. And it's basically your tuner talking to your engine management computer, and it's getting the factory settings all set and preserved so that down the road, if you want to take whatever tune you have uploaded to your truck back out and you want to restore it to the factory settings, it can do that. So right now we're going to go ahead and try and upload one of our performance tunes and do a dyno run and see what kind of results we get. So obviously you have a couple different selections in your tuning menu here. Your tuner is going to come with some basic Diablo Sport tunes that you can select from, and that's what we're going to do today. We don't have any custom tunes purchased or available yet, but you obviously have space to do that down the road. But right now, let's try this. And we're going to go with a 91 octane tune. At this stage, this is where it's basically swapping out your factory settings and creating a backup actually on your device so you can restore that later. So right now it's asking us if we want to customize this tune at all, and there are any number of variables and adjustable parameters that you can tweak to your own personal liking. We're not going to do any of that right now. We're just going to go ahead with the tune as it is from Diablo Sport. All right guys, we've gone through the basic setup and synchronization features between the tuner and the engine's management computer, and we've also done a little bit of tuning. So now let's take a look at some of the other menu options that we have on the tuner itself as it relates to performance data logging and some of the other gauge readouts and other features of this tuner. All right guys, now when you think about this tuner, what I really like about it is it's really several devices wrapped into one. You're not simply tuning your engine, but you can also go into this feature here called Performance Tests, and this is going to allow you to record data and actually do 0 to 60 runs, 0 to 100 mile per hour runs, quarter mile runs, eighth of a mile runs, and it's going to time those for you. See, you have these different selections right here, and obviously we're not set up to do that right now here on the dyno, but you do have that option. You can also set this up. You can see we have it mounted kind of on our windscreen right here, and it's really not necessarily in position we would have it permanently, but it's set up so you can see this for the video. But if this is where you're going to have it, what's really nice is you have a setup here for gauges, and you can have a readout here that will basically supplement whatever gauges and data that you're not getting from your vehicle's instrument cluster. Now it has the ability to take you through a tutorial, which is also nice. I'm going to skip that for now. And this is kind of like the base setup. Now this is very customizable. You can scroll through different gauge appearances and different pages, and it's just going to give you probably more data than you can consume. And I know it's kind of like an overwhelming amount of data that I see, but right now what we have it set up for is here we have a tachometer as the big gauge in here, and we have ambient temperature, which right now is a little bit over 70 degrees in here. But you can customize each one of these gauges to give you the data that you're looking for. And as you're going through this, if you want to go back to your home screen, you can swipe up, and it's going to bring up all those options we saw on the home screen. So let's check out our settings. And here again, you have display settings, device colors, audio settings, and you can basically tweak every little thing about this tuner, which is really nice. It also connects directly to Wi-Fi, which is how we downloaded some of our updates. And you're going to expect to do that once you get this out of the box for the first time. It's going to want to update, and connecting directly to Wi-Fi is really nice and pretty quick and easy, to be quite honest with you. And obviously your check for update selection right there. Units of measure, obviously if you want imperial, which is miles per hour, or if you want to set it over to metric, which would be like kilometers per hour. But I don't know if you're picking up that beeping noise. You can turn that off so that when you're pushing buttons, now you're not hearing any noise. Or if you want that, you can set alerts on here as well. Like you can set alerts for like speed of your vehicle. So if you don't want to be going any faster than a certain speed, you can set it to that and it will alert you. It's kind of nice as well. Go into the alert settings here. And then you can tweak all these other options here like tire size, vehicle weight. And that's important if you're putting aftermarket wheels and tires on it. It's going to throw off the calibration of your speedometer, and you can actually adjust that so that your speedometer will read out accurately. The last thing you want to do is think you're going the speed limit when you're actually going 5 to 10 miles per hour over, and all of a sudden you're getting pulled over. So obviously something you want to avoid. Now I just swiped down and that brings up this little menu here. And in these settings, you can change the theme of your gauges if you want to change the colors, if you want to change the layout, just all kinds of features if you want to have a different wallpaper in the background. Like I said, this thing is customizable in about 1,000 different ways, which is really nice. And if you pick up any additional accessories available from Diablo Sport, such as an exhaust gas, temperature meter, and you have that mounted in your engine, you can add that and go through this menu here called EAS settings, and that will allow you to set up those additional accessories that you might have plugged into your device here. Now back here at the home screen, another nice feature of this is if you get a check engine light, you can go ahead here and hit diagnostics, and it will bring up the trouble codes feature, and you select that and it will scan your vehicle to see what trouble codes are coming up. We don't actually have a check engine light, so we shouldn't get anything right now. And as it says, no trouble codes available. However, if you were to have a check engine light, it would pop up here with the trouble code identifying number as well as a brief description of what that is. And you'll be able to click on that and get additional information. So it's going to really save you some time having to take it somewhere, maybe have a mechanic look at it. Being able to get that information for yourself is really useful. All right, guys, that wraps up this review and install of this Diablo Sport Trinity 2 Platinum Tuner for all 2003 to 2014 Ram 1500s with the 5.7 liter Hemi. And of course, for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.